Yo, what is up, everybody? And today we are back on the channel with another Madden 26 Titans connected franchise. And as you see here, we are starting the video off with a blast. A trade alert has been announced in Tennessee and Minnesota. As you see here, the Titans offering up L'Jarius Sneed, their second round pick, for superstar edge rusher Jonathan Greenyard and Jeff Okuda cornerback. And you guys might be like, why are you making this trade? And I can say, I wasn't planning on making this trade. So the Vikings guy that just came in, he's actually a new guy and he was very ecstatic, I guess. One of the first things he said, he was just looking for trades to make, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to trade? I'm looking to trade some edge rushers." And so I was like, "Give me a trade for Jonathan Greenyard," and he gave me an original trade. I kind of forgot what that trade was, but it was not a. Oh, it was Kevin Zeitler and L'Jarius Sneed for just Jonathan Greenyard, and I was like, "No." See, I know I said I wanted to trade away Kevin Zeitler, but no, that was not the trade I was planning to put him in. So eventually I was like, nah. And then he reworked it and he was like, you know what? I'll do L'Jarius Sneed and the second round pick for Jonathan Greenyard. And I was like, sure, that will work out. And then I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, let me put in Jeff Okuda so I have a little bit of a replacement in there. And you guys might be also be, well, why trade L'Jarius Sneed? And it's also because I don't know if I talked about this. I don't think I did, but we picked up Chiadobe. This is how you pronounce it. This is how, Chiadobe Awuzie in free agency. He was dropped by the Ravens for some reason. I have no clue why, but found him in free agency. Nobody had a problem with it, so I was like, you know what? No, I'll just pick him up. And I guess it's a little sad to trade L'Jarius Sneed because he did have that pick six against the Broncos, I believe it was the Broncos. No, not the yeah. He had the pick six against the Broncos off of that Happy Gilmore crossing route, which was amazing. But other than that trade alert, we are back at home again, trying to impress our fans against the division rival Colts in the Music City, as we are off as Sanchez is going to kick it out of the back of the end zone. The Titans are going to start this game at the 35-yard line, which is amazing. As first and 10 here, we hand it off to Tony Pollard, who tries to get to the outside, jukes back inside, is taken down by Zaire Franklin for a loss of one. Hey, that guy has kind of the same name as my YouTube name, as Cam Ward is going to get hit as he throws there. We had that corner route, but the pressure was just a little bit too much. As third and 11 here, the Colts dialing up a blitz again. Cam Ward going deep for Calvin Ridley, who has a step again. Is he going to get it? No. He drops it again, and that is 2 weeks in a row. Calvin Ridley has dropped a wide open, well, I wouldn't say wide open, but a pass where he has a step. And now, I am not going to put this on Calvin Ridley as much as last week's because he had a step, but it was not a very big step. But in that situation, the cornerback barely touched him. He definitely had enough time to grab that ball and pull it in. He just did not get it as Jalen Hurts is throwing to the outside for AJ Brown. And oh, that is what I forgot to talk about. The Eagles traded away Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown before the season started for, I believe it was, as Jalen Hurts is rolling out of the pocket and gets blown up by Cody Barton. My goodness, Jalen Hurts took an absolute shot there. That is the that is our actual new guy, Jonathan Greenyard, on the fumble recovery. I would believe that was either him or Jeffrey Simmons, one of the two. But man, oh man, Jalen Hurts, you have got to slide there. You cannot be taking those hits as the play clock is winding down on second and 5 from the 29-yard line. Colts dialing up another blitz as we get it underneath to Okonkwo, who breaks a tackle, looking to get in the end zone, makes a juke move, fighting for yards, and he does not get there. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Took three people just to bring him down here as play clock winding down on first and goal. Cam Ward making adjustments to the play. 3, 2, 1. He finally hikes the ball on the play action. Rolling out. He tries to throw back across his body to Okonkwo, but it is incomplete. Broken up there. Let's calm down a little bit here as Cam Ward on second and goal from the two. Oh my goodness, our center just got absolutely walloped by DeForest Buckner with that inside stuff ability. As third and goal here, Cam Ward looking to pass, has time in the pocket. It's a red accuracy, but it is not red enough as Okonkwo is still able to reach up for it. Man, oh man, I like lost track of what I was even trying to say before as the Titans take a 7-0 lead with this Joey Slide kick up and good. But like I was saying before that Jalen Hurts fumble, the Eagles user had traded away Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown to the Colts for Sauce Gardner in a pick, I believe. I'll have to try and find that trade while I'm commentating this game, but I believe that's what the trade was as Jalen Hurts hands off to Jonathan Taylor here as Jeffrey Simmons gets pancaked. And gee, why can't Jeffrey Simmons be like the Forrest Buckner, absolutely wilding centers and stuff? He's like, come on, man. Can't be getting a pancake there as play clock winding down. Jalen Hurts looking to pass it, has time in the pocket, dials it up for Michael Pittman Jr. And that was an absolute dot right out of the break on that dig route. As first and 10 here past midfield, the coach drive is looking better, or definitely better than it was last time, as Jalen Hurts find a wide open Tyler Warren underneath, and I do not know what happened there. That was man coverage, and like nobody's guarding him. As second and two, play clock winded down again. Colts making sure they take their time here, as it's almost intercepted by Cody Barton. Jalen Hurts almost put his hands in the cookie jar, and that is the second week in a row we have had a drop pick. I mean, as Jalen Hurts rolling out, oh my goodness, he is playing a dangerous game here. I mean, he got the first down, but come on, after what happened last drive, you have got to slide. But like I was saying, second week in a row we have had a drop touchdown and then a dropped pick. I mean, Cody Barton, if he got that, he is definitely taking that to maybe even the house. I mean, you do have Jalen Hurts back there. As Jalen Hurts looking for AJ Brown in the end zone, and he is just wide open. Nobody guarded him, and I have no clue what happened there. And I think it's really because for the play starter, I put a QB spy on my edge rusher, and Madden has like totally messed up how adjustments to zone coverage work this year. And I'm assuming me putting that QB spy just totally messed up the whole play. But that was a cover four, so that should have been bottled up. So Colts kind of get bailed out there on third down as Tony Pollard juking right into a defender but breaking the tackle to get to second and one. As the first quarter is almost over here, under a minute, as we toss it right to Tony Pollard, trying to get to the outside, but it is boxed up. And that is Javarius Ward Sr. on the tackle there. As third and two, we hand it off to Tony Pollard. Up the middle, Tony Pollard has some space, and he's breaking tackles, but DeForest Buckner comes up eventually and takes him down the 40-yard line, and that is going to be the last play of the first quarter. And man, it has been a very wild first quarter. I mean, I guess 7-7 isn't like the best, wildest game ever, but for what has happened so far, it's kind of crazy. As first and 10 here, first play of the second quarter, we are just going to try to start it off with a run, and Tony Pollard just has nowhere to go. I mean, at least he got past the line of scrimmage as here on second and 9, play clock winding down. The Titans dialing up the screen to Tony Pollard. It looks like he has a first down and a little bit more. Defenders falling in. Oh my goodness. What a break for the Colts. They're almost on the tackle. That was actually a touchdown saving tackle. I don't know by who though, unfortunately. As on first and 10 here, Titans looking to pass it as they get Keemeray Dyke in the end zone. Just beat his man on the corner route for the touchdown, and the Titans are looking to take a 14-7 lead with this Joey Slide PAT being up and good. And this game starting amazing offensively, defensively. I mean, other than the Cody Barton drop pick, it's going good so far, and this is what we need to see the rest of the year. I mean, I know it's the 0-2 Colts, but like it's still early on in the season. They just had a couple bad games to start off. You never know what could happen. As first and 10 here from the 25-yard line, Jalen Hurts starting out of the single back, trying to get it to Alex Pierce on the sideline. He does though for the 3-yard gain. At second and 7 here, play clock winding down again. Jalen Hurts has his call for the ball here as he gets it off, looking to pass it again, and it's almost picked off. That is the second dropped pick of the game. And I mean, come on, we have to capitalize on this as 3rd and 7. Jalen Hurts has time in the pocket going deep, but it just does not make it there. But come on, we have to capitalize on these. We are dropping picks, dropping touchdowns left and right, and it is insane as Keemeray Dyke has some space on the punt return, looking to try and get it to midfield. Gets it to under midfield at the 43-yard line as Gunnar Helm, the tight end, comes in motion for the Titans here and strong as they hand it off to Tony Pollard, who gets a couple good blocks, but not good enough to get a big gain. 3 yards there. It's under 10 seconds on the play clock. That is our running back, Tony Pollard, in motion there for the 5 wide. Obviously, a pass now as Cam Ward looking to get it to somebody. Okonkwo on the sidelines, but it is too high, too high. We just got to get those passes down, and that goes back to like how I said it's a little hard to pass in this league. One bad decision as we get Okonkwo on the post route, tries to juke back inside, breaks a tackle, but does not get a lot much more there as we are past midfield again, and offensively, this is just going amazing for us as we take it with Cam Ward on the read option. Does not get a lot, but it's better than previous read options have gone. And with Cam Ward at quarterback, I'm really trying to get these read options in. I might start trying to do some speed options as Cam Ward is way behind the line here, throwing to Alec Onumire. I keep calling him Eric, but there's no R in his name. It is Alec Onumire for the first down on that dig route, and we try to dial up the sweep to Tony Pollard, and it is just does not work. Stuff there by the Colts defensive line and linebackers, and I mean, we keep trying to dial up that play, but it is just not working. As oh my goodness, another potentially dropped touchdown. It's third and fifth. 3rd and 13, we send Calvin Ridley in motion. Colts dialing up a blitz. We're looking for Gunnar Helm, and he makes the catch. A spectacular catch over Nick Cross, but it is not enough for the first down. As 4th and 3, we just do not decide to play risky. Let's take our 3, take a 10-point lead. As Joey Sly is back to kick the ball, and it is going to land out of the back of the end zone there. But I mean, offensively, this is going amazing. This is like looking a little bit like week 1 near getting away from our week 2 as it is almost picked off again. It went through the hands of, I believe that was, looking for the name here. That was Cedric Gray who it went through the hands by as we go to the 2-minute warning there. And once again, we are just not capitalizing on defense. If we made all the plays we should have, this could be a way different game as Tyler Warren gets absolutely walloped there by Chiadobe Awuzie, the new recollection for the Titans. As on 2nd and 1 here, Jalen Hurts looking to pass again, gets it to Alex Pierce for the first down and a little bit more. Titans up to the 35-yard line. I mean, not the Titans, Colts, sorry, as Jalen Hurts just throws it underneath to Tyler Warren again, and they had to be wary of the clock here, and they are. They call their first timeout with 36 seconds left, maybe a little too early as Jalen Hurts goes over the middle again for Alec Pierce. He's really putting in his workload today, and maybe the Colts are playing a little too conservative. They're wasting all their timeouts, maybe just a little too early here, as that is a very good catch for not a lot of yards. Somehow hung on to it, and the Colts with 23 seconds left have burned through all of their timeouts. Surprisingly, not a good use of timeouts as Jalen Hurts has some space and he just throws it out of the back of the end zone. Started to send Cody Barton there on the blitz, but surprise, Jalen Hurts just decided to throw it out of the back of the end zone as, oh my goodness, that was Jonathan Greenyard on the mid blitz there. Just came off the edge like a cannonball. 4th and 5 here. Jalen Hurts and the Colts going for it. They get the first down. No timeouts though. AJ Brown got the catch and clock is winding down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trying to spike the ball. They get it off, but it does not hit the ground in time. In that situation, I mean, just horrible management of timeouts. They had 0 timeouts with 23 seconds left, and Jalen Hurts had a lot of space to take off on that 3rd and 5 play, or 2nd and 5 play, and just throw it out of the back of the end zone. But as we get out of the half here, I just want to say I'm sorry for messing up a lot of the names here. Just was not as prepared as I should have been for this game. But I'm going to try to commentate the rest of this to the best of my ability here. As first and 10 out of halftime, Jalen Hurts going deep, and it's almost picked off again. Again. What is that? The fourth drop of this game? I believe that was the free safety, Kevin Winston Jr. Jalen Hurts going deep again for that corner route. He would have had it if his receiver would have jumped, but he does not make a good enough effort. As third and 10 here, Jalen Hurts looking to pass it, running around in the pocket, gets to Tyler Warren on the sit route, and he hangs on through the contact for the first down. And I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we have to capitalize on those picks this drive. We could have been up 24-7 if we would have got that pick. As Jonathan Taylor on the first and 10 run up the middle goes nowhere. Second and 10, play clock winded down after I get here, and they try to run it up the middle with Jonathan Taylor, but it just does not go anywhere. As third and 12 here, the Colts looking to pass, and it's picked off this time by Cedric Gray. Cedric Gray, nobody within a mile, and he is going to make it into the end zone on a well-deserved pick for the Titans. Finally, finally capitalizing off of other teams' mistakes last week against the Rams. Dropped pick after dropped pick, not sacking Matthew Stafford when we're right in front of him. This finally happened. A pick. I mean, we got a pick against the Broncos, but it's like as Jeffrey Simmons here on the sack, now our defensive line is showing up big to put it back to second and 18 as the play clock is winding down. Jalen Hurts obviously looking to pass again, and he's almost sacked again. He just gets it out in time, and lucky Jonathan Taylor was there, or that would have been an intentional grounding. As third and 18, Jalen Hurts has a little bit of time. Time starting to run out. He makes a good move, tries to get it to Alex Pierce, who later gets blown up. And after seeing that, I have to go back to a key point. I hate to be salty about things, but come on. If that wasn't defensive pass interference, but the one last week was, then I just don't know what to say. As Cam Ward takes it on the read option off the RPO, and that is another play I like. I would like to try to get involved more because I've actually been using that, and I like the way it just works out. And obviously, it would work a little better if whatever cornerback that was didn't have, I don't know, like 99 awareness on that specific play. As the Colts dialing up a blitz, we get it to Calvin Ridley, who hangs on to the ball this time. He's tackled by Chavarius Ward Sr., but not in time as he has a first down as Tony Pollard fights through some tackles for a 9-yard gain and a second and one in the single back. We handed up the middle, and oh my goodness, Grover Stewart just demolished our center again, and with this inside stuff ability as Cam Ward on third and two, trying to give it to Calvin Ridley. But Grover Stewart apparently can get in on the passing game too, as Joey Sly makes that 50-yarder look easy. But what I mean by that is Calvin Ridley actually got bumped by Grover Stewart, I believe. It was one of the defensive linemen that bumped into Calvin Ridley that made that pass look really awkward. But if that didn't happen, we would have had that easy first down here as the Colts take the ball from the 24-yard line, looking to pass here out of the I form. Jalen Hurts dots it into Michael Pittman, who has some space, being chased down and is eventually taken down at the 41-yard line. First and 10 here from the 41. Play clock winding down. Jalen Hurts looking to pass it again. Gets it to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield. Jonathan Taylor makes a move, makes a man miss, and he gets stopped just in time by the defensive end, Arden Key, who is going to have a little bit of a reduced role here as first and goal from the 1-yard line. Try to hand it off to Jonathan Taylor up the middle, but it is stuffed up by the guy who just made the tackle on the previous play, Arden Key. Second and goal here from the two. Jalen Hurts throwing it up for Michael Pittman Jr. And he is in for the end zone, or I should say he kind of toe tapped into the end zone there for the Colts' second touchdown of the game. And I mean, that was just perfectly placed by Jalen Hurts. The lob pass, maybe should have bullet passed it to ensure a little bit more, but I can kind of see why the live pass worked here. Sanchez is back to kick it off, and it will not have a chance to be returned as hits the ref in the foot. But 17 seconds in the third quarter. Now we are kind of just looking to waste some time, maybe get like a field goal as we get it to Gunnar Helm on the underneath pass, and he tries to make a move, but doesn't matter. Still gets the first down anyway. And with that play, that's going to be the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter here as Cam Ward dropping back to pass gets it to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. Tony Pollard making a back juke into a spin. And that is not at all what I wanted to do. I mean, it worked, I guess, here as Tony Pollard makes a good cut back inside for the first down. But what I wanted to do, though, I wanted to do more of a little controlled hezzy into the spin move, but it obviously did not work as we handed it off to Tony Pollard, who has a big hole, makes a man miss, and then is taken down over 50 yards on the game. And we are trying to get this run game working. And for the last couple of plays, it has been working, which is good for us as we are making that time tick, tick, tick as Cam Ward lobs it up for Tony Pollard, who tries to fight for the first down but is ruled a yard short by the refs, maybe less than a yard, maybe a couple of inches. As you see that time, 6 minutes 30 seconds left as Tony Pollard breaks a tackle. And while it was not a long run, it was a very good run here. As now we are under 6 minutes left. Cam Ward man in motion. That is Gunnar Helms, a tight end, as it is a play action as we try to get it to Calvin Ridley. And another dropped pass. It was a little bit of a contested pass, but that linebacker did not get his hands on the ball as we get it to Alec Anyumeyer, who was in for the touchdown on that little short end route. There was just nobody covering that part of the field. And I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to have to go back to calling him Eric Anyumeyer because I trying to force myself to say Alec is just not working. It's not working for me. I think I just have to go back to saying Eric Anyumeyer. And if Eric Anyumeyer I mean, Alec Ondemeyer ends up watching this video. I'm very sorry, but man, that's just, I can't even talk right now. As AJ Brown gets a 9 yard gain for second and one. Jalen Hurts playing that little underneath game. He might have had that corner route, but kind of lurking it there a little bit. As play clock 3, 2, 1, we want to hike the ball as fast as they can. As Jalen Hurts test Xavier Woods on the interception, and Xavier Woods is trying to take it all the way back, and he is in for the touchdown. And man, oh man, offensive mistakes are paying off for us. Finally, two pick sixes in this game. 41 to 14 has just really changed this game. I mean, look, it could have been worse for the Colts. Had a lot of drop picks, but it does not matter because as long as we have the picks that we need, as Jalen Hurts is going deep for Tyler Warren, a little too high there. But with that pick six there, the Colts, I mean, they need a prayer, a miracle, and a Hail Mary to really get back into this one with a 27-point deficit here as third and seven. Play clock winding down, and if they really do want to get back into this game, they need to start hiking it a little faster as Tyler Warren gets a first down. But there is a flag on the play, and it's on the Colts holding, and that takes the play all the way back as third and 17 here. Jalen Hurts going deep for A.J. Brown. Is he going to get it? No. Just a little too high there. Cannot get his hands all the way on the ball. And fourth and 17. Desperation time here. Colts obviously looking to pass. Jalen Hurts hit as he threw it. Looks as if he was going for A.J. Brown here. And I am sorry to you guys, but with that play, the Colts user actually quit. Now, at the time of this, I didn't know it was a rule that you could not quit games. So I was like, I went to the commissioner. I was like, oh man, you should make a rule where you can't quit games. Cause I was trying to make that video, you know. He was like, there is. Who quit the game? Or that's kind of the way I read it in my mind. And I was like, what? And in my mind, I was like, wait, chill, chill, chill. It's okay. It's okay. He quit a game. It's okay. We don't need to get all out of hand. But yeah, Unfortunately, we did not get to finish that one out, so I didn't get to look at some highlights. But we do have the stat line here. But like I was saying, I mean, we should have that game should have gone a lot more in our way than it did. But it's okay that it didn't because it still paid off for us. We still got our two pick sixes, which is okay. It's okay, I guess. We should have had more, but like I said, as long as we win at the end of the day, it is okay. As next week we are playing another division rival away. We have the Houston Texans on the road, and I mean their offense is crazy good. They put up 59 their first week. They put up 52 the next week. But our other division rival, the Jags, put a stop to all of that, holding them to just 10. But you'll see that video coming soon, maybe in the next couple of days. But with that, you see the weekly highlights here. Other than that, that's going to be it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. But other than that, that is going to be it for me. Enjoy the rest of your day and peace.